Hi, Down Escalator. I wanted to make a video response to your I'll Never Be Like That video because I wanted to leave a comment, but I only have 500 characters in the comments, and I have more to say, and I don't, because I think you're wrong, and I don't want to be like attacking you with a comment, because if I kept it with 500 characters, it would be like, no, you're wrong. This is why. Stop being stupid. And it's just, I'm not as nice and friendly with comments as I am when I make a video response, and I want to be friendly because I like your idea, and I understand where it comes from, because I don't know, like my friends, and from 19 years of girl talk and being a girl myself, yes, it's this weird thing where I totally get the girls thinking it's not a big deal that a guy being smarter than them in a relationship. But at the same time, if a guy and a girl had a flirtation and the girl was the smarter one, and the guy said to the girl, "Oh, you're so smart, I can never be like that," the girl would be totally creeped out and would bolt, because they would feel like that the guy was trying to put them on a pedestal, and that's just not healthy for a relationship, and so they wouldn't want to pursue an unhealthy relationship. And because of that, it would be the end of that flirtation, but not because they're smarter, just because that whole like creepy pedestal thing going on. And you uploaded this video yesterday, and I've been thinking about it since then, because I can't wrap my head around this, exactly what you're saying, and I think that I'm misunderstanding you, and that's why I think you're wrong, because I usually agree with you on these things, and I don't here, but I can't really figure out what the issue is, and that's why I think maybe I'm just misunderstanding. And so I wanted to tell you what my thoughts were, and also ask the questions at the same time to try and figure out what it is you mean and see if I can figure it out. Now I'm curious. I'm just going to go ahead and read your description, well, the first point on your description, because that's the only one that I really have a problem with right now. Says, attitudes of "I'll never be like that," accepting differences as there's a gap that can't or won't ever be crossed, and why this causes issues. I'm curious what you mean. I mean, your example was intelligence, and that was the one that you stuck with, so I'm going to stick with that one as well. I don't understand. I mean, maybe this is just the girl's point of view, because I've talked to a couple of my guy friends today and been like, would this have been an issue if a girl said to you, "Oh, you're so smart, I can never be like that"? And both of them were like, yeah, that would definitely be a problem. I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with somebody who thought that way. And when I asked them why, what specifically was wrong with that specific sentence, neither of them could give me an answer. They were both like, I don't know, it's just weird. So I can't figure out what is wrong with that sentence, apart from the pedestal thing. And I guess, do you mean, because I don't know, maybe like I personally don't think that a gap, like there being a gap in intelligence, is a problem. You need there to be gaps in relationships. When you're with somebody, there needs to be a difference in certain things. I mean, obviously, like the core values, I think, need to be similar or understood as, I don't know, but then like the core values have to be the same core value. I don't mean like, one person's pro-choice, they can only be in a relationship with somebody who's pro-choice, but, for example, but the abortion is an issue that needs to be talked about, that being the value, or, like certain, not, yeah, like, or, I'm so confused what you're talking about, because I can't figure it out. I mean, do you mean like, what do you mean by smart? I don't know if you're simplifying intelligence and trying to say that if you're smart, you know, if you're an engineer, you're a smart engineer, you can only date smart engineers that are on the same level as you, or do you mean like a level of expertise for a specific field, like outside, you know, like you're on the level of, you know, you have a certain level of expertise for engineering, but if you were in a relationship with someone who wasn't an engineer, they would need a similar level of expertise in their field. Is that what you mean? I can't understand, because if that's not the case, like if you mean they need to be the same level of engineering intelligence as you, then in all these things they have to be the same level as you. You're gonna be dating yourself, and that's boring as all. It's just so boring. I don't know why that would be something that you would want, to date someone who's exactly like you. But I don't know. I'm not a guy. I have no idea. But I just, okay. And maybe, do you mean like, do you mean that accepting that there will be a gap is the problem, or do you mean accepting the size of the gap is the problem? Because if you have a large gap in difference of something, like this person wastes absolutely no time on the internet, and this person, for example, wastes tons of time on the internet, you know, this gap is fairly large, and it's not going to be a conducive relationship, and that is, you know, just a fact, that because your timing's going to be off, and it's not going to work out quite as well as it would if two people were closer in the time wasting. I need to stick to intelligence because that's what we're talking about. I can't simplify intelligence to that level where I understand what you're talking about. I don't get it, and that bothers me a lot, because I want to understand what you're saying, because I agree with you kind of, but I really don't at the same time, and I need to understand how I feel about what you're saying. I need to understand what you're saying. I don't get it. Or, okay, maybe, do you mean like the stagnation of intelligence? Because I think that, maybe, is that what you mean? Because then I could understand it. Then, like, that would make sense, and I would agree with you there. I feel like how you view intelligence, or how important you find intelligence to be, is probably the basest value that you could have. You know, like, I think it's even more based than religion or politics or ethics or anything. I mean, it is the very base of everything, because if you view intelligence to be unimportant and unnecessary to be a successful human being, then you're not going to want to build on your intelligence. And so I think maybe you're more likely to have a lower intelligence at that level. But if you're someone who values intelligence and thinks that it's a very good thing to have, think that it's a very good thing to have, then you're going to want to build on your intelligence and learn, you know, because you think it's important, and so you're not going to be able to understand the stagnation of intelligence. And is that what you mean by the gap, or do you mean just someone has to be as smart as you in everything? Because I don't understand this, and I want to, because I think it's interesting. Or help me figure out what you mean here. That would be great, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day and have a great